Hey y'all, I wanted to go over what sold $40 and above in September, and I am going to split it up into two videos because I find myself gravitating towards others' shorter videos. So we're going to split it up into two. It'll be 13 items in this video and 16 items in the next video. Let me know what you think about that, if you like the shorter videos or the longer videos. Personally, again, I kind of just prefer the shorter, so we're gonna do it in two parts. So let's get to it. First item, I'm gonna go in order of price sold, so starting at $40, going up to the highest. Item number one is a Simple Folk item. So this is a brand that I've talked about at least in the last two videos, I believe. It's a kids brand, and their pieces do rather well for a kids brand. So I got these via liquidation or wholesale, whatever you want to call it. And I think I got 100 items. So I'm kind of dwindling down to my last, 10 or so. This one is a jacket. It's a lightweight jacket. It is this really pretty olive green color. I listed it at 80, and I think I had sent maybe 30% off offers, and someone countered at 40, which, I mean, that's half of asking, but again, I'm kind of down to the last 10 or so, and I was kind of just wanting things to move. And when you think about it, like $40 for a kid's jacket, it's still pretty pricey. So I did go ahead and accept. I listed it on June 8th. It sold September 4th, so 88 days to sell. I paid $8.50, so that left me with a profit of $21.78 on this item. Okay, number two is this Aritzia Babaton racing stripe pants, and I thought these were super fun. I found them a long time ago, actually. I found them at a consignment store in Colorado on a vacation, and they just took a long time to sell. I think I got I think it's called the Vero warning or whatever, basically the copyright warning for using their stock photo on eBay. So I had to take it down. I think I ended up just moving the stock photo to the last photo, which probably still is not the best thing to do, but it's better than the cover shot, which I'm sure is what they're really looking through. So that happened, and then this item had been listed since October of 2021, so listed for a long time. I definitely relisted it multiple times, and it ended up selling on Poshmark, but it took a long time, 315 days to be exact. And then interestingly enough, after it sold, I got a Vero notification saying that Poshmark had been notified by Aritzia or Babaton or whoever it is to take it down. So the sold listing ended up being deleted. That's why the screen recording here looks different. So yeah, just be careful with Aritzia or Babaton, any of those. Babaton is sold at Aritzia, but it seems like all Aritzia just gets flagged pretty often. So be careful. This one sold for $40 even. I paid $8.76, and that left me with a profit of $21.52. Okay, number three. So these, I have a whole bunch of Levi's that I got liquidation, wholesale, whatever you want to call that. And these ones I was able to find the stock photo for. They're basically the only ones I have been able to find a stock photo for so far, and they sold same day, and part of me believes that's because of the stock photo. So if you have any tips or tricks on finding stock photos for Levi's, please comment them down below. I am desperate. I have probably 55 pairs of Levi's, and yeah, so far one stock photo, which I know I don't fit in all of them. I probably fit in some of them. I can model some of them, but I prefer not to. I really don't like to model, so I would much rather be able to find stock photos. If you have any tips or tricks, I would greatly appreciate them. So these are the wedgie style, which I know is one of the more popular styles. It's the wedgie and the rib cage that I hear that are the most common. So these had a raw hem, they are black color. I listed them at $60 and someone sent an offer basically immediately after listing them for $40. And I wanted to see what would happen, so I gave it like kind of close to the end of that 24 hours. And I think it was at a time where like sales were a little bit slow, so I was like, you know what, same day, 40 bucks, let's go ahead and accept it. So I did. I paid $4.50, so I made a profit of $27.50 on these jeans. I feel like the other jeans I've listed without stock photos are kind of nicer than these, so I'm a little bit bummed nothing else has sold yet. Granted, it's probably been like 2 weeks maybe, but I really think, I don't know, I'm gonna find a way to find stock photos. Hopefully someone knows in that way. Just make it easier on me, please. Okay, number 4 are these fry booties. So fry is kind of hit or miss. I've had some fry that sells like that and makes like great profit. And then I've had some that sits for a while and just doesn't do as well. So it's definitely one that you want to look up style. Sometimes even if I notice like it's not gonna sell for as high, I'll still pick it up if the cost of goods are rather low. That was kind of how these were. I found them at like a thrift store near my hometown, so like a really small town, and they had them marked at $8. I feel like every time I go to this thrift store, they always have like Fry or Bionic or what's the other one I found? Just like cowboy boots. And it's nice because it's like a small town thrift store and they don't really mark anything up, it looks like. I think the highest I'd seen something marked was like $20, and then I got to the checkout with it and they're like, oh, $5. I was like, oh, cool. So anyways, I love little thrift stores. I feel like it's just so different than what we have in bigger cities. Yeah, that was a major tangent. So let's get back to it. So these are the Jackie Gore leather booties. I listed them at $85 and they took 83 days to sell. So I listed in June, they sold in September. They ended up selling, I think it was kind of similar to the other one where I had sent like an offer to Liker and they countered with like a slightly lower amount and I just went ahead and accepted. So they sold at $42. I paid $8, so that left me with a profit of $23.88. So yeah, 83 days, not the best, not the worst. It's under 3 months, which is kind of like my ideal time frame. Still seems like a while, but we are getting into the colder months, so it'd be about the time you'd wear them anyway, so makes sense. Next up are, what number are we on? 5? No, 4. How did I get off? We're on 5. We're on number 5. Okay, I'm already losing track. These are kids' shoes. So these are the Nike Thank You plastic bag sneakers. These I thought were really interesting design-wise. Retail on them, I'd have to look. It was higher than I expected, especially for kids' shoes. I just didn't realize Nikes were so expensive. Let me get to it. Okay, so retail was $150 on this, and I listed them at $50. These came liquidation. I got like pre-owned kids shoes, and it was probably the only time I will do it because I hate cleaning shoes like with a passion. Unless they like need the simplest wipe down, I get grossed out and I'm just not super into it. So these were actually probably the cleanest of the lot. I think I got maybe 40 kids shoes. I think I donated probably close to half of them because they were just like too far gone, or I would start cleaning them and be like, this is not worth my time. And I have a bad habit of doing that when I get into cleaning some shoes sometimes, or they don't get as clean as I would like, and then I'm like, I just don't want to sell these anymore. So I end up donating them, which I need to work on, or just not order shoes that you have no idea what condition they're gonna come in. Anyways, these were interesting ones. I listed them at 50. They sold for 45 and they sold in 80 days. And I paid $2.50. So I made a profit of $31.78. Well, that seems great. Just remember I donated about half of the lot because I couldn't handle it. So my profit, yeah, if you count that into it, it's probably nothing. So yeah, anyways, number 7 is a brand that I have no idea how to pronounce because I believe it's German. But for humor, let's try. So I think it's called Baum und Vergarten. We'll go with that. This is the Clariot sweater. So this is a new to me brand. I've seen it sold by others kind of as a bolo. So I was excited to get this via liquidation. It was a lot of things with flaws. So this had like 2 stains that I think I stain treated once and they came out super duper easy. So that was great. I listed it in excellent pre-owned condition because there were no more stains and it really was in great condition. So I listed it at $100. It took 116 days to sell, so it took a while. They called it the sweater. The like name of the shirt was a sweater. It seemed more like a shirt to me. It wasn't like very thick or knit, like chunky knit or anything. Where was I going with that? It was basically a shirt to me, not a sweater. I listed it at 100. It took 116 days to sell. Sold at 45 via offer. After 116 days, I decided just to accept it because it had been sitting for a while. And I paid $9.75. So that left me with a profit of $26.25. So not bad. Number 7. These took a really long time to sell actually. And I'm not entirely sure why. So these are by Sorel, which I do love that brand. I've sold it in the past and I think it moved pretty quickly in the past, but for whatever reason, these took 169 days to sell. I listed them at 80, sent out offers. Someone accepted my $48 offer. That was probably what, 40%? Something like that. Maybe I sent 30% and they countered. That's probably more likely. So I went ahead and accepted and I paid up for these at the thrift store. So the thrift store has like a showcase section with the nicer shoes that they set aside. A lot of times they miss nicer shoes and they're still in with all the other shoes. So I do check both, but it's also nice if you have like hardly any time to just go and check their showcase section and see if they have any gems that are at a reasonable price. So these were $24.70, which I thought was a reasonable price, so I did get them. But with what they sold at, that only left me with $11.98. So in hindsight, I would prefer a higher flip than this. Yeah, next up. This is the same jacket as the first one. So this is the Simple Folk lightweight jacket in olive green. This one, I think it had retailed for like slightly less than the other one. So I actually listed it at 75 instead of 80. And it sold at 50 via offer. I went ahead and accepted. This was actually the same day as the other one. I think it was like later in the day. Someone sent an offer for 50 and I was like, okay, sweet. I just sold that for 40 like an hour ago. So I'll happily accept that. It took 93 days to sell and I paid $8.50 again. So that left a profit of $31.50. So great return on a kid's item. Okay, next up are the Stuart Weitzman sandals. So these were at a Goodwill boutique and they tend to mark up things that they know about. I don't think they know about Stuart Weitzman, which I find interesting because I go there and like Tory Burch is constantly marked up. What else have I seen? Coach constantly marked up. But I've been there once with Stuart Weitzman and it was like, what was this one? $15, so totally reasonable. And then I actually got a pair of boots from a consignment store and they still had the Goodwill Boutique tag on them for like $40, and I paid way more than that at the consignment store. So I think someone bought them at the Goodwill Boutique, took them to the consignment store, and I still bought them and made money on a flip. But besides the point, I'm getting off track here. So these are the Stuart Weitzman sandals, and I priced them at $50. They sold for $51.75. This is on eBay, so that is including shipping. I think someone sent a $45 offer, and I went ahead and accepted, and then with the shipping that kicked it up to the $51.75. So this sold in 2 days, which was great. I happily accepted their $5 less than asking offer. I love reasonable offers. So again, I paid $15. That left me with a profit of $20.26. So not bad for a 2-day flip. Okay, what number are we on? 11? No, 10. 10. Number 10 is this Sandro sweater. So this I had for a really long time. And now that I'm looking at the days, it was 400 days, which is way too long. I definitely don't want to keep something that long. But I got this, basically a lot of like Sandro and Beige last year and listed everything. Some of it sold quickly, some of it did not sell quickly. This is one of those items. This is a short sleeve sweater. It's this really pretty blue color. It has like a slit in the front so you could tie the front. And it was a wool cashmere blend. It was a super nice sweater, but it just took forever to sell. I think I had gotten, I don't know, maybe 3 lowball offers over the 400 days it took to sell. And when I say lowball, it was probably like $20. And I was like, I had paid more than that. So I just didn't accept. I obviously countered and they probably ghosted me or tried to maintain their offer value, which I just ended up declining. So this sold, I listed at $65. It actually sold at $65, which was great. Because I paid $28.64, which is pretty high for this piece, I guess I would say, not necessarily for Sandro and Beige in general. And I made a profit of $23.36. So yeah, why it took so long, I really don't know. I like this brand and some pieces do well. So I guess just do as much research as you can. Reselling is just kind of a gamble in general. You can do your part in researching, but sometimes, I don't know, things just don't make sense. And yeah, okay, number 11. And these I got at I guess it'd be a thrift store or consignment store. They were new with box and they were essentially in their showcase section, which is just like high up on a shelf. And then I had to ask someone to get a ladder to get it down to look at it. These were, I could see the tag on it and they had the box in back, which I didn't know about, but they were new with tags. So I figured that was good. I do like selling this brand. It doesn't sell the quickest, at least in my experience. So I've probably had it 5 times or less and it's not terrible, but it's not great. Like it's not like same day or next day kind of brand, but this took 35 days to sell. So these are these really cute boots in this like light color. They call them Marfil, which I have no idea what that is. Now I feel like I need to Google it because I'm very curious. Let's see, they were listed at $150 and it had been 35 days. I was probably on like a slow patch of offers and they sent $65 and I went ahead and accepted. So I was just glad to kind of move these out. Also, I think I was probably just running low on inventory space at this time. I was like, yeah, it's new with blocks. Let's just get it out of here. So sold for $65. I paid $28 No, that's not true. Sorry, I'm on the wrong line. Sold for $65. I paid $0 because I had store credit. But if I didn't have store credit, it would have been $34.05. But since I did trade in anything, I put my cost of goods. Since I did trade in things, I put my cost of goods as 0, which left me with a profit of $52. So that's great. Number 12 are, oh, these were a good one. So these were a thrift store find. And this is the same store that has a showcase section, but these were not in the showcase section, which made me question their authenticity. So I did a lot of research to make sure they were authentic, and they were. So I totally picked them up. These are Kate Spade. The style is Shiloh. They're a patent leather slingback kitten heel. And let's see, I paid $11.32, which is great. If these were in the showcase section, it probably would have been like $40 or something. I listed them at $70. They sold full price on a day when I had been sending out like 30% off offers, so I just assumed it was one of those. And isn't that like the best feeling when you think it's less than it is, and then you like look at it and you're like, oh, that was a full price sale, and it came in with a bunch of like other discounted ones, so you're like, that's the best day. Anyways, so I sold it at $70. I paid $11.32, and that left me with a profit of $44.68. So great flip. 33 days, not bad, a little over a month. Last but not least, so this one sold for the highest and making a big jump. The last one was $70. This one sold at $425. So yeah, big jump here. So these I got at a consignment store, and I did pay a lot for them, and I knew that was a gamble, but I'm kind of trying to get into that a little bit, where I pay more to make more, essentially. So yeah, this was one of those like first ones that I was like doing the research on. It seemed like it was a good idea, and I went with it. So this is Valentino rock stud heels. These are the kitten heels, and the upper was 100% calf hair, and they were pointed. So yeah, I thought they were super cute. I don't know that they're my style, and I probably would never wear them, but I appreciate them, and I know the rock stud style has a following. So these sold in 47 days, which is not bad, especially if I feel like for such a high priced item. There were no comps that I could find on this exact style. So the calf hair had like feather print on it. I found some, I think with calf hair, I found some that were like patent leather, but none that were like the calf hair feather print. So I priced high, not really knowing what like the true value was. I think I had seen, I'm trying to remember what I saw for comps. They might have been as high as 700 and as low as like, I don't know, 200. So I ended up pricing on the higher end. I priced it, I want to say at 800 to begin with. And then probably like 30 days in, I dropped it to 700 and relisted. And it ended up selling again in 47 days, so not too bad. I had it priced at 700. Someone sent an offer. I want to say she sent it for $350 on eBay. And I was wanting just a little bit more, but I was also really wanting to make the sale. So I countered, and then I put in the message like, hey, thank you so much for the offer, but it's just a tiny bit too low. And I think I countered at $450, and then she countered again at like $425, which I was like, you know what, we'll just accept it and move on with our day, because this was kind of a lot of money to have tied up, and I was just ready to move on to the next piece. So sold for $425. I paid $216.57, and that left me with a profit of $141.37. So that is great. I would love to get more into this where I can get higher flips on items instead of like the $20, $30, $40, $50 range, the like 100 and up range. So it's something I'm working towards, but it's a little bit intimidating because sometimes it ties up a lot of money. And then also sometimes you may just choose a bad pick and then, yeah, just rocks your confidence a little bit. So, yeah, working on that. But that is all 13 items. I'm sorry if I messed up on the numbers. I feel like I might have at some point. And there will be a part 2 with 16 items. So be sure to check that out. Also, like, comment, subscribe. I do like to chat with y'all. Yeah. So have a good day. Goodbye.